Frank Show, what? The Frank Show, come on, the Frank Show, what? The Frank Show, come on, the Frank Show, what? The Frank Show, come on, Frank Show. It's time for the show.
Shake it, shake it, shake it, shake it, shake it like a full of Madison. Review time. I have time for the review. And so I have been seeing this one getting some top-notch reviews. And I will start off by saying it's a good game. It's been a good game. It was a good game before they put it into VR. Now, this review solely focuses on the VR immersive components of this title. I am not denying anyone in the entire world that this is a wonderful game. The atmosphere is phenomenal. I love horror games where you're just kind of walking around, exploring a house, solving puzzles. So this is my cup of tea. But this is a big old mix master kind of but. The VR implementation really is not anything next level, anything mind-blowing, and in some cases really frustrating. I got over the frustrations. They're not game-breaking, but if you look at the negatives of the game in general, a lot of it is that there's backtracking. So backtracking, whatever, like the space. When you're in VR, backtracking gets a little more tedious than when you're outside of VR if you forget a little thing here and there. Going into the inventory did not feel immersive. It's like a weird, like, spinny thing around me. I grab something, then when I grab something, if it's not just the camera or like the walkie-talkie or one of the items that they've decided, I can't even move. Then trying to place it into like the little green pop-ups that come up into the world never felt good. It just kind of felt like it was hard to trigger. And picking things up just after all the time I spent in it, it was like, oh, it's gonna get better, I'll get used. It never felt great, it never felt used to it. There was kind of that you can tag it, but you don't know sometimes when you're tagging, sometimes when you're not. And then one of my last gripes, more importantly than anything, the camera. The camera mechanic is awesome. It's really cool. I had so much fun wandering around in the dark, lighting up the space with the camera. This game looks beautiful. Like, don't get me wrong. They did a phenomenal job. It runs super smooth. It feels great to be in this space, but I wish I could have done more with the camera. Like, I click a trigger button and it takes a picture, sure, but why can't I like hold it with both hands? You know what I mean? Like, make this some level of extra, I don't know, other than just throw some like sliced off hands in there where the fingers don't even feel that manipulatable, and then I don't know. Some of the puzzles, yes, they're more immersive, but at the end of the day, it was like picking up a thing and then like pressing up and down of the trigger rather than like getting in there and doing something. Once again, just feels like the cheap way to make a VR game. I am not saying don't get this game. This game is fun. You're gonna have a good time in this game. I'm more just complaining about like, they could have done so much more. They could have done a lot more in this day and time to make this a more immersive on top of scary experience, which mind you, I don't get scared in games, and I had a couple like moments, so it is a scary game. Like, you will enjoy this, but you're gonna feel these frustrations and you may not be able to know how to vocalize them, and to a degree, that's what I just wanted to do here. These are more like developer notes, people watching this notes, this and that kind of stuff. I had a good time. I'm excited to go in more. I didn't like the narrator. I mean, you can turn it off, which is great. There's some settings here and there. I wish I could have gone faster. And final big gripe note to me, and huge thing about the game, biggest thing, you can watch, I'm not gonna review the game. There's a million reviews out there. It's been out for a minute. You can watch one of those first. The IGN one's pretty good. They get a good deal of what I say. I don't care about the score because I feel like they hate, and then they're like, it's a great game sometimes, and it gave that vibe a bit. But they hit some fair points. But the picture, so shaking it like the picture's cool. I like that mechanic, although you get to a point where you just don't want to shake them anymore. You just, I almost was just using it like a flash bulb as a flashlight in certain instances, which is fine, because I played on like the easy mode. I'm sure if you play on harder modes, maybe you don't get that option, but I didn't go that deep. And in the game, you have to take pictures of stuff and then you look at the picture and it'll reveal some clues, right? Yes, PSVR 2 Fusion does look beautiful, but the taking of the picture and holding it and trying to look at it, I wish that they would have made some kind of like spotlight when you're in there looking at it that like highlighted the image so it was easier to see. You have to find a corner of a room with like an okay light or get it I could never really see the picture within the picture as well as I needed to. It didn't keep me back from figuring out some of the puzzles because luckily they put the clues fairly large when you're taking the picture, but still like that felt like a gripe, and it really felt like I had to try super hard to look at this Polaroid, which is a very deep mechanic in this game. But yeah, so that's it. Madison VR looks beautiful, is a good game, already looked beautiful, already was a good game. Does the VRness really take advantage of the hardware? There's some cool haptics that happen here and there, like with the world that pulled me in, and I enjoyed that, like in the head. Like there was this like phase where you're just kind of like going in and out of reality and it matched with the thing, and that was cool. And there was some stuff in the hands here and there that were good, but I don't know. I feel like they could have done a lot more to make me feel like I was in those puzzles and picking things up, and even like, if I wanted to look at the back of a picture, trying to manipulate it with the way you have grabbing things and spinning things just doesn't feel immersive. It feels very just use the trigger or just use the this, or I could never get a good angle on things, and I don't know, that let me down. The world is physics-based, so you can bump into walls and you can hit stuff, and then some things will fall over, some things don't fall over. This is a stickler. This is me just complaining at my level, but it's like when I open a drawer, I want to be able to open every drawer, and sometimes there were drawers you couldn't open, but most drawers you could open, which were good. Sometimes I could knock stuff off a table, sometimes I couldn't. And I know it's cost, I know it's a thing, but yeah, that's something that just kind of bugged out to me, but I am glad that like your arm doesn't go through walls. They did a good job there, which was good. But yeah, that's it. The puzzles are fun. Like I said, it's a good game. It was already a good game. It looks beautiful. It runs very, very well, but I don't know. I want more VRness. That's it. That will always be my answer. And that's always what I'm gonna push. And I know not everybody agrees with me. I know that sacrifices have to be made. I know that we have to cut corners. I know we waited forever for this game, and it seriously is a really fun game. But when it comes to just reviewing the VR mode of this game, I can't give it like a stellar 10 out of 10. I can give it like I don't give numbers, but I feel like from my vibe, you can probably get an idea of what I mean. Now, once again, don't let this hold you back from buying this game unless like that you're just that ultra VR purist, and then just wait for a sale, because you're gonna love the atmosphere. You're gonna love the sound. Like, it's fun to walk around. If you like the Resident Evil games, if you like, they compare it to like PT, which I never played, but I'm assuming that if you dig that, you'll probably dig this. But like I said, cool game, good job. Studio did a great job on like making it look really good and running really well in the headset now. Maybe extra mile for Madison Deluxe Edition. I don't know. I don't know if that's in the plans or the works. But yeah, that's it. I wish this could have been a much more like just me head over heels, like love filled review. And like I said, I had a good time, but just many little things here and there frustrated me that made me feel like it wasn't, is deeply considered for the VR aspects as much as it was like, let's just throw this game in VR because it'll be cool. So yeah, that's it. Frank here. Thank you for coming through. Would love to hear your comments in below, because everyone seems to be stellar, and I don't know if it's drinking the Kool-Aid or if it's just the drought and you're thirsty, and this is a good thirst reliever on many forms, but I don't want this to continue to be the norm. I want to be able to do more and be more and yada, 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 yada. But don't forget that you are the best. You're the only reason I'm here. Keep getting up in the morning and saying that you kill it. Don't forget to remind yourself that you are number one, and freaking subscribe. I mean, come on, nah. As much as